It's okay, Dan. It's okay. I got it. Hey, guys, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. Unfortunately, we have some sad news. Dan had to put down his beloved faith. You know, that's you only can do so much. It hurts. It's like losing a child. I know exactly how that feels. I think anyone who's ever had a pet knows exactly how that feels. So we just wanted to pay a little bit of tribute to Faith. She was she played a big part in the show. She was actually the episode when she selected the team. That was pretty funny. That was some good times. And she's always been part of the show, even when you're on with your Kruger days. She was part of the show, and she's going to be sorely missed. So we all know that you did the best for her. There's only so much you can do, unfortunately, and yeah.
No doubt.
Well, thanks, everybody. I appreciate your well wishes and kind thoughts. It was, needless to say, a tough couple of days, and I kind of knew late last night today was going to be a rough day because she just was struggling. And when we took her into the doctor to put her back on oxygen, she had see if she can make it another day and give the antibiotics a chance to fight off the infection. They did another x-ray and they found what appeared to be a big, large tumor mass which made, sadly, we kind of joked about Faith's bad gas the last 6 months on the show. And sadly, that's probably what was the cause of it. And she'll be remembered, and she was a great dog, and I'm going to miss her. But, life is hard, right? I mean, we all got different things we go through, whether it's worse, I think, if it is a spouse or a child, or a parent. That's about as tough as you can get. But dogs are tough because they love you.
Absolutely.
Unconditionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but big game today. Giants look good. And
look much better when they got someone who can set the table, huh?
Yeah.
Even though it's in the ninth position, but he still set the table.
Well, that's kind of what and I'm not going to stay on too long. I'm just going to come on, wanted to pay tribute to Faith and just make a quick point here about what I see with the Giants, and then let you guys handle the rest. I just think this team, good things happen when you're aggressive in any sport. When you're aggressive in football, sometimes you get beat on a blitz, but a lot of times you make big plays and defense makes mistakes, or defense forces errors. It happens in basketball when the defense gets very aggressive and plays tenacious defense. Good things happen. Baseball, you got to be aggressive on the base pass. And the Giants had 0 stolen bases going into today, and they got 3 today, I think. 2 for Fitzgerald and 1 for Chapman.
Yep.
And they were trying to even get more late in the game. And, you got to do that. And I think, and what I said about Tyler Fitzgerald before the season started is make him your Chris Taylor of the Dodgers. He can play shortstop and give Ahmed a rest 2-3 days a week. He could play left field. He can give Conforto a break. He can play center field, give Jung-Hoo Lee a break against the lefty or so. He can definitely play right and give Yaz a break. He could play second. He can give Tyro a break. He can play third. He is your Swiss Army knife. Use him because he does you no good sitting on the bench. He's the most athletic player. He's not maybe their most skilled player, but he's their most athletic player with speed, some power, and he can play all over the field. So you know what? Melvin's got to use him. He just does. He should be in that lineup I would say maybe he is in the lineup almost every day and gets a day off, like Chapman gets a day off once a week, and Lee and Conforto and Yaz and Estrada and Ahmed. They all can use a day off. This is why you carry a guy like Tyler Fitzgerald. Otherwise, you're just wasting, a valuable tool. He's not just a pinch runner. He's not a pinch hitter. He's a guy that should be playing because he'll get better and better. You can see it. And I don't know what the Giants are thinking. Hopefully they get this figured out, because when you add an element, what he brings to the table, you put the defense on their toes, and you force things. You get a guy on second with less than 2 out or no out, and you get him to third with less than 2 out. You can manufacture a run. And
exactly.
Baseball.
That's what that's what I like about it. Because if trying to hit the ball over the fence isn't working, you got to manufacture runs. And what's part of manufacturing runs?
Speed.
Base stealing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
it's worked today.
Yeah,
it worked today.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that tonight about Fitzgerald, and Jordan Hicks is pitching like definitely an all-star right now. I mean, through 3 starts, he's got an ERA about 1, and he looks dominant. He's going 6 to 7 innings. Hopefully he can hold up, but all you can say is, he's doing great. He's doing what he was brought in to do. So kudos to that. And with that, my final thought tonight, I'll just say thank you to everybody for your well wishes. It is hard. I'm an animal lover, and I got faith because she had cataracts and she couldn't really see too well, and I wanted her to have a home with another dog like Buster. And so she had her for 4 years. It went too fast. She was only 6.5. So, but with that, I'm going to bow out, and you guys are in good hands with Los and Eric tonight. So thank you, everybody. And we'll see you, I guess, Friday after the Marlins, right? Is it the Marlins?
No, Tampa Bay first, right?
Oh, Tampa. It's Marlins after that? Okay.
Yeah.
So Tampa, and so I don't know what time that game is, 4:30 or 4 o'clock here or something like that.
It'll be
hey, awesome.
4:30 probably our time.
The game is let me look here.
Just so you know, D-Shot just donated $20. Appreciate that, buddy. He says, get a couple of 4x4 animal style in and out. Rest in peace, Faith.
Oh, wow. Hey, thanks, D-Shot. Really appreciate that.
Awesome.
3:50 start our time, so probably about 6:30.
6:30? Yeah, nice.
6:30, 6:45 Friday. All right, guys.
All right, that sounds like a good time.
Hey, everybody. Thanks,
right,
and appreciate all your kind thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much.
Hang in there, Danny.
You betcha.
All right, thanks.
See ya. Oh, my goodness. Gosh, that's tough.
Well, we're going to have to do our best to pick it up.
Absolutely.
And,
you haven't got a chance to talk about the game, so go for it, Lewis.
Well, I mean, I think one of the things I'm seeing a lot of, and again, we're naturally very responsive. We've been desperate to see some kind of energy on the team. So not only in here on the chat, but saw it in social media after the game, is everybody's already having Fitzgerald replace Lee in center, or having replace, Yaz in right. I think you guys are all missing the point, like Dan alluded to. Fitzgerald can be a guy that can start 3 to 4 times a week in different places. He doesn't have to necessarily replace one guy. Although I would not mind it if it was in right field, because you know how I and we feel about Yaz and Slater. But Fitzgerald is a guy that, me and Dan noticed right away in camp, because he just stood out. Like, he was, when you have a team that is slow and doesn't have a lot of power, and this guy comes along and you just see him running the bases, and we're like, holy crap, we're not used to a guy like that. And it translates, so far, day one, 3 for 3. It's early. It's one game, guys. We got to calm down. It's one game. But
Yeah.
but like we've been saying, when you bring youthful energy to a team, it is contagious. So Fitzgerald, I think, is a guy that is not necessarily going to be locked into one position. He's going to play multiple positions, but play 3 to 4 times a week and give that spark that the Giants so desperately need. So we're still on board for Matos to take over in right field. Fitzgerald can play shortstop too. So this is going to throw a little bit of a monkey wrench maybe into Luciano. Who knows? But it's good to see. It's good to see a guy succeed at that level so early on in his first game. 2 stolen bases, the first stolen bases of the year. Hilarious. But as far as Hicks goes, man, that third pitch he has is just making all the difference in the world. We all had our doubts about him as a starter. I think we can kind of maybe remove those. He's looking damn good. And we mentioned this, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, Eric? We're like all of a sudden like assuming that once these other guys come back into the rotation, Hicks is going to go to the bullpen. Hold that thought. He can't lose his job pitching like this. So it's a good thing for the Giants.
Absolutely. And I'll go ahead and start off with Hicks. Not only is it that third pitch, but he's locating with that fastball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge. I get he's got high velocity, right? But boy, that sinker, when he's pitching to right-handers, I don't know if you've noticed, he'll hit that outside corner where it comes back into the plate and get those called strikes, which is fantastic. And of course, when he gets to the inside, he jams them, and then he gets a bunch of ground balls. So I like what he's doing as a starter right now. The only thing I'm worried about is, can he go a whole season? He has not yet pitched more than 80 innings. I'm hoping, right? But let's see what happens.
With all the injuries that have been happening with guys' elbows and guys that throw hard. And Hicks has been a guy that throws very hard. And he's learning how to pitch now. He's not necessarily having to throw 99, 100. He realizes he's not pitching 1 or 2 innings. He's pitching 5, 6, 7 innings. So, hey, if you have 94 or 95 with movement, and now you got 2 other pitches.
Yeah.
That's pitching. The art of pitching is just taking the timing off of the batter's swing.
And then when time comes, he may have to amp it up to 100 just to blow someone by.
Exactly.
It's all situational, right?
Yeah, when he's got a man at third base and he needs that strikeout, he can amp it up. But yeah, you're right. With all the injuries going down with elbows, like if he could do this for a whole year and we get 130, 140 innings out of him, God, it just blows me away how like that's the norm. Like, oh, we hope to get 140 innings out of the starting pitcher right now. Oh my God.
I know.
You know where it used to be at one time. Like 250 was normal back in the day. So I'll take 140 from him.
Yeah, exactly, right?
At 11 million a year, they got him for 4 years.
Yeah, that's a bargain. That's a bargain.
So
that's a bargain.
Remember, guys, like I know we have a reputation of getting on forehand, but that was a nice pickup. So he gets love and he gets his flowers when he deserves it. So that was a nice move.
Exactly. Oh, with Fitzgerald, I tell you what, man, if you're not calling it Matos right now, then put the guy in right field. Put the guy in right field every day. Every day, just see what you have, because I think it's kind of doing injustice. This is his second game. And this is what, game number 13. Has he even come in any kind of pinch hitting? I think he's pinch run a couple of times, but I don't think he's pitched hit, right? I don't think he has. In between those 2 starts, maybe there is an at-bat in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember seeing it. But he needs to get some playing time because the guy is something else. I mean, did you see stole second and then immediately the next pitch steals third base? It's awesome, man. That's you need something like that. Nope. Okay, Michael says he hasn't even had an at-bat. See, that you're not doing anyone justice by having them sit there and ride the bench. He's got to be playing. And why not, man? It's not like you're going to lose. Is he going to do any worse than what the Giants were doing here these last 13 games?
Did everybody notice and hear very clearly the crowd reaction when Fitzgerald did something good?
Oh, yeah, man.
You hear
it's exciting. Yeah.
Do you hear a little bit of difference which is what I preach so much about how Giants fans love their homegrown kids, their players that they drafted, their young guys come up and do well. There's a difference between Fitzgerald getting a base hit and Yaz getting a base hit.
Correct.
Just listen to the applause. So ownership, if you're listening, and I know you are, if you want to put people in the seats and make more money, play young guys because they bring excitement to the game.
And look at this line today. 3 hits, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored. I mean, the guy was he was a machine today. No, I get it. It was Patrick Corbin. But I mean, it's something, right? At least he's doing something because what did the Giants do yesterday against Yohan?
Right.
What was his last name? Adon. I mean, they didn't do nothing with it, and the guy sucked, and they couldn't do nothing. But you get Fitzgerald coming in there today, and he does something. So it was pleasant to see. Again, next year, I don't see it this year because left field is going to be occupied by Conforto right now. But can you imagine next year? What if you have Luciano in left field, Matos in right field, right? Jung-Hoo Lee in center field. Maybe you have Fitzgerald at shortstop.
If you have
third base, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what third base right now. Maybe it's Schmidt. Maybe it's not. But look at that. That's 3 guys out there that can do something for your organization. They got something, right? They value them because they want them obviously to succeed. So I think that would be pretty damn exciting. I mean, look what we use this example a lot. The Baltimore Orioles, they brought up Jackson Holiday today, but look how many they got. Westberg, they got Kowser, they got Holiday. Who's the other one they have? There's someone I'm missing. I can't remember. Their kid down in AAA, Colby Mayo. I mean, they got all these young guys, and they're gonna be out there throwing. Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman. I mean, they're just full of young guys. Herstad. I mean, it's gonna as a fan base. That's what you want to see, and just like you were alluding to, when Giants fans see homegrown talent coming up and producing, man, there's nothing better than that, right? Because you hear about them, if you're I don't want to say hardcore fan, depending, you're going to follow the guys who the Giants have drafted, see what they're doing, hey, they're making their major league debut. Let's see what they're going to do. There's some excitement to that. Absolutely.
Trust me, every hardcore Giants fan that really is a baseball fan knows who the prospects are in the system. They know them by name, AAA, AA, single A. They keep tabs on them, some more than others. They know who they are. So when they get to spring training and they do well, like some of them have, and then they don't get a shot, they're like, okay, well, what's the reason why they're not getting this shot? Well, they have an all-star playing in front of them. That's not true. Well, they have a pretty good player playing in front of them. Well, that's not true. They have a crappy player playing in front of them. Then that's when people are like, what is the reason why? And that's why people get frustrated. I think Giants fans, especially because we haven't seen it a lot the last few years, they fail to remember how important and vital speed is. It's not just about stolen bases, although that's nice. It's being able to get from first to third on a hit. Now you have a guy at third instead of at second. Now sac fly gets that run home. Giants are struggling to score runs. So it's little things in the game. Because this game has become so dependent on the home run that we're missing those first to third. We're missing a guy scoring on a double in the gap from first base because he has speed now. So if you have a Fitzgerald, a Matos, and a Lee, and maybe if Estrada can get out of his own way and get going here, you have 4 guys that have pretty good speed in that lineup. And now you have some balance because you do have power with Conforto. You do have power with Soler. So now you're talking about a lineup that has both speed and power. And that's all we wanted because we haven't had any speed at all. And I think the power is going to come. I really think the Giants, and this has been happening for the last few years, they hit way better on the road than they do
on the road than at home.
I don't know what it is at home, but other teams hit okay here. But for some reason, Giant players, for the most part, today was an exception. But if you look at the totality of it, watch the Giants hit in Tampa this weekend. I bet they hit in that dome. I bet the Giants put up an average of about 5 or 6 runs in each of these games. Mark my word. There's something about Oracle. Great ballpark, beautiful ballpark, but somehow it's like kryptonite for the Giants.
Kryptonite for it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it is weird.
The last few years, they average more runs on the road than they do at home. So the bats will come alive, I think.
Yeah, good. That's a good point because they always seem to do better run. Well, except for last year when they were in Colorado, man, that was bad. Woo! That was just that. But I think there was other factors in that other than just there was chemistry issues going on in that clubhouse during that time, anyways. But yeah, it was absolutely great to see today, and I like what you said. You got to have a balance to your lineup, and I think one thing that Farhan has done, and I mentioned it yesterday on the show, it's the whole analytic thing where it's about the 3 true outcomes, right? It's about the walk, the strikeout, the home run. That's boring baseball to me.
Really is.
Look, I understand home runs are great. Yes, they're exciting, but you know what? There's more to baseball than just hitting the ball over the fence. It's about the hit and runs. It's about stolen bases. It's about getting a runner over. It's about getting a run across the plate with less than 2 outs. There's a lot of things. Of course, the defense and the pitching. There's so much there's so much happening within a baseball game, but you got to be able to try to take advantage of these. And if you're not able to hit the ball out of the park, like I said in the opening, then you got to be able to manufacture runs. You got to be able to do that. And stealing is part of it. It's not the end all be all. Don't get me wrong. It's not the end all be all, but it puts pressure on the other team. They may make mistakes that they normally wouldn't do if someone's running on them. And you got to take advantage of it.
I could not stand the St. Louis Cardinals in the 80s because they just had a bunch of jackrabbits on that team. Just everybody, 1 through 9, could run fast. If you took the 1984 through 89 St. Louis Cardinals and you put them in this ballpark, oh my Lord. God. They were gap hitters. They hit the ball down the line. They went first to home on – I saw them go first to home on singles, much less doubles. That's the kind of players that I think are perfect for this ballpark with some power. I'm not talking about just getting a bunch of single hitters. I'm just talking about, more gap power hitters. Power just doesn't play in that ballpark. It just doesn't. I think Solar will still hit 25 homers, but he's going to do most of his damage on the road. So, yeah, we'll see. This is some exciting thing with Fitzgerald, and let's see if he's back in the lineup. Do they play tomorrow or do they play Friday?
Friday.
They're off tomorrow.
Yeah, day off tomorrow.
That'd be very interesting to take a guy that's 3 for 3 with 2 stolen bases and say, you're on the bench, buddy.
I bet you he's on the bench.
I bet he's on the bench too. And that's gonna upset fans. It's like, dude, like you're throwing guys out there that are 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4 every day. Now you got a guy that, you don't have to play him in the same position. Give Ahmed a day off. He's an older dude. He's playing well. He's playing good D. Had a good day at the plate today, but put Fitzgerald at short. This is what Dan was alluded to, and this is what I think the value of Fitzgerald is. You give him spot starts here and there. You give some of these older guys that need a little bit of a rest and a blow. Like Lee has played every game, right? This was his first
he's played every game. This is his first day off.
So it's a good opportunity for him to take a day off. Then he gets tomorrow off. It's 162 games. Learn. One of the things that on a little bit of a different sport and topic, one of the things I get so much on Kyle Shanahan about is using your whole roster, using all your players. So same thing, same philosophy with the Giants. You got some guys on the bench, some young guys on the bench that do different things. If you're just sitting them there, then they're doing no good. So use your whole roster, especially, damn it, when the guys that are starting are not doing well. Hello? Exactly.
And here, you know what? You brought this up talking about how speed is more than just stealing bases.
Yep.
You're also putting pressure on the defense. Yep. You're making them have to rush. They could potentially make a mistake, and you capitalize on that. That's one thing I think the Giants have done well is they've capitalized on other teams' mistakes, whether they have a throwing error or whatever it may be, and they've been capitalizing. But when you got someone that's on the team and on the roster that's able to make the team or make the defense have to hurry, have a little bit more pressure on them, that you got to take advantage of that. But gosh,
if you have a pitcher that knows there's a fast guy on first and is worried about him a little bit stealing, and now he wants to get the pitch to home plate a little faster to prevent him from stealing,
makes a mistake.
Maybe that little speed up that he did along with the pitch clock makes his location on the inside now cut out over the middle, and now it's hit for a bomb. So There's so many
Exactly.
things speed does. And this is why I never understood why Farhan put this roster together without much of it. He does have some of it. It's just not on the major league level, with the exception of Fitzgerald and Lee. You bring Matos up, now you got more speed. Meckler's got a little bit of speed. A kid named McRae's got some speed, because they got their veterans that just don't have any. But like I said, it's all about balance. And they saw what it could do a little bit. If Bob Melvin is the manager and his experience as I think he is, he can't ignore that. If they're talking behind the scenes on the airplane to Florida, and Farhan's all like, "Oh, let's go back to our normal lineup," I want Melvin to be saying, "Did you see what we did today? Did you see what speed does for that? Like, please, you didn't play the game. Back off. Let me manage this team and let me set the lineup, please."
I agree. And let's see what happens. At least, and it's good to have that win before you hit the road. You don't want to go.
They
not only that, you don't want to be swept.
They could not get swept by the Nationals. That snowball would have got bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, what a way to lose the other night with bases loaded, nobody
loaded.
Out.
How
Brutal.
does that even happen?
Yeah, so that's good that they mentally were able to 12 hours later on a day game after a night game, flush it away and come back and win a game. So that's a good sign.
So there we go. I think players of the game, absolutely. Hicks, Fitzgerald. I guess let's see what else. Who else had it? Chapman had 2 hits today.
Good.
And 2 runs scored.
I did not watch the game. I just watched a little bit of highlights, but I saw Fitzgerald had one of his hits was down the right field line. And he was 3 for 3. So I love guys that can, hit the other way, because that to me is a sign of a good hitter. So that's a great sign.
And then Ahmed was 3 for 3 today too. So nice to see him. Yeah. We'll see what happens. All we can do is just hope right now, because right now, I mean, they're 5-8. They're going to have to, you want to get through the month of April, at least at 500, right? That's where you don't want to be buried in April, because it is so much more difficult. It puts more pressure on the team. The team will press a little bit more. You don't want to be below 500. So let's hope that they get at least to 500. Of course, you want them to do better, but avoid being less than 500. Johnny's got a question. What do we think about Murphy over Bailey? I feel more comfortable with Murphy behind the dish. Actually threw out a guy stealing today. Yeah, Bailey has been committing quite a bit of errors. Pass balls in the outfield when he's trying to pick someone off, stealing.
When I saw Bailey, the first spring training game I went to, I immediately noticed he was heavier, and it didn't look like it was like a Matos heavier with strength.
It wasn't muscle. It was
a little, maybe a little chubby.
Little porky.
Yeah. And I think he did it because he mentioned last year that he wore down as the year went on, but he's got to understand that one of the things that made him like a very, very, very good defensive catcher was his quickness, the way he would be able to get rid of the ball and pick off guys at first, his throws at second. By adding that weight, and they said it was close to 15 pounds, and again, not the good kind of weight, that might help you last towards the season, but I don't know if it's going to make you as effective of a player, because you're kind of built on defense right now. Your hitting, I think, will come around. I don't know if he did it to get more power. I think he's always going to be like a 240, 250 hitter, but I'm not a huge fan of Tom Murphy either. So I'd still kind of lean towards Bailey. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think Bailey's got to have to fix some stuff. I don't know what his throws down to second when people are stealing. He's just winging it. Yeah, I understand he's a good framer, but Dan brought up a good point. Maybe he's a little bit too aggressive, and that's why he drops a lot of balls, maybe, because he's trying to move that glove over before the ball gets into the damn mitt, and it's costing you called strikes, and it's costing you pass balls. So maybe that's something they might want to work on. Maybe not be so – you could frame, don't get me wrong, but don't do it to the point it's costing you your team.
I'll tell you what, I know analytics is a big part of the game, but there are still old school scouts, and the Rays scouts were probably watching these games, and don't think that people and teams don't know that teams are running on Bailey. Nationals ran crazy on him. I think he finally threw somebody out, but don't think teams are not going to, when they see Bailey back there, they're going to be running a lot. So it's on the Giants pitchers to do a better job of holding them on. They can only throw over 2 times, but yeah, that's going to be a problem unless Bailey fixes that real quick.
Absolutely. Did you hear the song that Will B put together through AI?
I did.
Is that classic?
Nice.
That
job.
is absolutely amazing, man. And none of that is real. That was all created by a damn robot somewhere. I say robot, but computer, whatever.
Mhm.
Incredible. Maybe we can win a Grammy.
Definitely will be. Didn't know you had it in you, man.
Man, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I like that one. Yeah, because you know what? Hey, let's take a look. Did Sacramento play today? Kind of like to see what's going on with the guys in Sacramento. See if they had a game. And yes, they did. Let's see. They won. Ooh, they put up 7 runs. Let's see what the box score looks like. Matos 1 for 4. Luciano 1 for 4 with a walk, 2 strikeouts. Ramos 3 for 4, 3 RBIs.
What's Ramos hitting down there?
325.
The sad thing about him is it just doesn't matter what he does. I just don't think the Giants like him. Just
I don't know what it is either.
He's Ramos is Spanish for Joey Bart.
Oh man! So you got Matos.
I hate to say that, but when an organization blackballs you and doesn't like you, in the great words of Marty Lurie, it doesn't matter what they do; they're not going to come up. So I feel bad for Ramos because I think he can be a player, just like I thought Bart could be a player. But Matos is definitely ahead of him, and Hunter Bishop is starting to hit the ball. I'm seeing now little things, and he's Farhan's first pick. So getting back at red tape of things again, Hunter Bishop has probably moved past Ramos on the depth chart.
The depth chart, yep. Let me see.
Sad to say, but that's just the way that guy rolls.
Exactly. Let's see the box score for Richmond. Well, real quick. So Matos again was 1 for 4 with one run scored. He's batting 226. Matos is. Luciano, like I said, he got 2 runs scored. So the hit and the walk. So the 2 times he was on base, he came in and scored, which is nice. Thanks to, I'm thinking, Ramos. He's batting 359. Again, Ramos 3 for 4, batting 325. Wisely. No at-bats. What? Listen to this. 0 at-bats, 1 run scored, and 4 walks.
Oh, wow.
What?
Well, he might get called up tomorrow. Farhan loves on-base percentage.
He loves, yeah, I know. He loves Wisely.
Walks.
And here we go. Hey, you're speaking of McRae. He had a hit today. 2 walks.
I like McRae.
And not batting too good in Richmond. Again, it's early. Lewinky, 1 for 5. Barracoto, 3 for 5.
And Meckler play?
I didn't see Meckler wasn't in the lineup for Sacramento.
Okay.
Barracoto, I think he's like a big prospect with a lot of power. Went 3 for 5, batting 318. Hunter Bishop, 3 for 5, batting 333 in Richmond. Von Brown, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Oof.
Rough. And none of those pitchers I recognize. Bertrand.
Will Bertrand. He's a
pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, no earned runs. Nice. Wow. Look at Hunter Bishop putting it together in Double-A, and that's tough, man. Double-A is not an easy league to hit in. So to see him hitting in Double-A is nice to see. So you got Barracoto, you got
it's a good sign.
Hunter Bishop. That's a good sign. We'll see.
He needs to put it together. He's been hurt since he's been drafted.
And look, this is where tough decisions have to be made, because we all know all these players cannot. You got a finite amount of roster spots, right? You got 26 men that you could put on your roster. And not all of them are going to play. So you guys or the Giants have to really, hey, who can we value as trade bait, or not even say bait, but use them for trades. And who do you want to be part of your future? So it's going to be interesting because center field's locked down for at least another 4 years, right? With Jung-Hoo Lee.
I was just going to say that Lee's committed for 3 to 4 years, more than likely. So that means realistically, there's 2 rosters, there's 2 outfield spots, and they got like 5 or 6 outfielders.
And there you go. So next year, Matos, I'm guessing, is going to take a corner infield spot. I'm guessing. That's a guess. But there's 2 spots next year. They're going to be free because I don't think they're going to sign Yaz. I think, right? Does he have one more arbitration year? He might. He might have one more arbitration year. So never mind. So there may be 1 to 2 outfield spots, and shortstop and third base will probably be open. So it's going to be interesting to see how the. I mean, we're talking way down the future, of course. We're only in game 13, and we're talking about next year. But I'm just looking to see what's down the pipe. You got guys in AAA, you guys got in AA, so they're going to have to make decisions.
If the Giants can identify of these 5 outfielders they have, which 2 or 3 that they want to bring up next year to really be main guys, and maybe the other 2 guys, maybe they're good players, but maybe they're just not in their plans. I would like to see them make a trade for a first baseman, a prospect first baseman, because Wade is just not the future, and Belt.
Well, they got that Eldridge is coming up. I think he might be coming up soon.
Is that all he plays? Is that all he plays as first base?
I think he's gonna be he's a pretty big guy. I don't know if he'll play the outfield or not. Maybe not. I think a lot of people are saying first base.
Okay. Then he could be very well our future. He's probably realistically 3 years away, maybe 2. What is he, 19?
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, well, you know what? There's some 19-year-olds right now and 20-year-olds that are doing damn well. Chorio's on my fantasy baseball team. Don't think that I don't watch him every day. And he's got a very nice approach to the game. Goes the other way, hits with power, has speed, has a good arm. Just 4 or 5.
Hey, what happened? Hold on. Don't even tell me. Hey, guy. Hey, senior, maybe you know. It showed Eldridge only had 1 at bat, and then he was replaced. He didn't get hurt, did he? Let's see. Oh, that's Richmond. Okay. Yep. That was from, I think yesterday's game. Or was that today's? I don't know. The one I looked at, I think, was from today's. But yeah, it showed him only. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me take a look. Where did you find that at? Just so I can find it.
He's not hurt.
I hope he's not hurt. He only had 1 at bat, and the other guy that replaced him had 3 at bats afterwards. A lower body injury. Great. What does that mean? Did he get hit? What did he do? Do you know any details, Will? Giants prospects.
Okay, that's nothing major.
I hope not, man. GPT. Or is it just Giants prospects? There it is. Let me give him a follow. Let's see what we got here.
Jackson Merrill's another guy. Man, that kid's got a
I got him on my fantasy team.
He's got a really nice swing.
He does, doesn't he?
He's going to be good. God, I wish he didn't play in that Petco. It's not exactly a great hitter's ballpark, but he's got a very natural, fluid swing. Again, he can go the opposite field. He's going to be a good player. So there is no San Francisco Giant law that says we have to allow our guys to play so many years in the minors and come up and really be a contributing factor at 22, 23. No, if Eldridge, hopefully he's healthy, kills it this year, bring him to spring training and see what he can do. Because not all 19 and 20-year-olds are built alike. And that's ignorant to think that they don't. The Giants have a desperate need to have a difference maker with the bat at first base. I'm not talking 12, 13, 14 home runs. old school philosophy is you get power from first base, third base, and your corner.
And the corner outfields. Yep. Yep.
You know, again, I don't know why the game's gotten away from that, but you know, it kind of has. I love Wilmer Flores, but he doesn't need to be playing a ton of games at first base. So hopefully Aldridge will be the man, and it wouldn't hurt to get somebody else just in case.
There it is. You hit a double and then got pulled, probably a hammy. See, that's the issue sometimes with bigger guys. It seems like their muscles don't seem to hold up. You know, maybe I don't even know. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I'm not an expert, guys. Is weightlifting and muscle mass, can that contribute? Because I don't know if that has any effect. Do you want to be more limber?
I think in the game of baseball is completely different from the other two. So I think in baseball you have to be more flexible, and I think lighter is better. I think if you're too muscle bound, I think you are asking for a lot of injuries.
Look at Luis Robert. The guy's always pulling something.
Yeah.
He's always pulling. He's going to be out for months, they're saying. Yeah, taller players have knee issues. Yep. I know Brandon Belt was notoriously having problems with his knees. Michael Roeder, thank you, sir. Donates $5. They are grooming Sable to play first, which would not bother me. I wouldn't be bothered by that. I thought Sable did okay.
I did too.
He represented himself pretty good last year for his first big league experience. I mean, you can't knock for his first experience. He gave you
pretty solid at bats.
Yeah.
So
and he showed that power. He did have power, and he had speed.
And he got better defensively, I thought, as a catcher. And he doesn't really, he's not great in left field, but he doesn't, he's not an embarrassment either. So I like Sable on the roster moving forward. He's young. He can play multiple positions. I'm good with him.
Yep. Hey, let's take a look at that home run. This is Hunter Bishop. Not going to play sound because I don't want to get hammered. Off a variety. Boom. Oh, see, those are the ones you hit out, man. Those backup sliders, man. And look at that. You know what I like about that? I like his little toe tap. He's got a little bit, because you want to use that, right, as a timing mechanism. You don't have that big, giant leg kick. Don't get me wrong. It works for some guys. But I just like that little toe tap. Doop, boom. That's good.
Timing mechanism for sure.
Yep. I like that. Now, that's nice. That's what you want to see. I mean, he's getting a little bit long in the tooth, so it's good that you're seeing him produce. Hopefully he can stay healthy.
What is he, Eric? 25?
I think he's 25. Granted, I'm not saying that he's ancient or anything like that, but in this day and age of baseball, it seems like when you get to 25 and you haven't made it to the big leagues, they're looking at you a little bit funny. But that's great to see.
It's his time. He says
you got to take advantage of it, right? The only way that you just got to be able to produce at every single level of baseball. That's why I was so hyped on Meckler and Matos last year, because every level they were playing good. The batting average was there. They were taking walks. The on base was great. Power was so, Matos had a little bit more power than Meckler. Actually, quite a bit more power than Meckler. But, you could see him putting it together. And again, does it always translate to, making it in the major leagues? Not always. But at least you want to see that.
I like Meckler a lot. The unfortunate thing about Meckler is he's just like Lee. Which is not a bad thing. I think you need kind of more guys that can put the ball in play and make contact. Mm-hmm. I think Meckler is going to be a good hitter. I hope he sticks with the team, but he's so much like Lee that maybe the organization will think, well, we only need one of these guys that is like a leadoff hitter, center fielder, contact hitter. Meckler's kind of, too much of that. We need our power more in the outfield. So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting in the next year or two to see how these young guys start forming the outfield as far as
absolutely. Wade Meckler is on the 7-day injured list. They got him listed at 5'9" at 178. They got Luis Matos at 5'11" at 160 pounds. He ain't no 160 pounds.
Man, Matos is not.
No way. He ain't no 160.
Nope.
Come on. They got to update that stuff. No
Yeah.
way.
He's about 185.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And he
But
did not look like he lost much speed either. He got bigger, and he still has his athletic. One thing I see a lot on social media about wanting to stay with Yaz. I keep seeing people say, "God, I love Yaz's defense. I love his defense. I love his defense." And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, Yaz has had a very good glove. It's not easy to play right field at Oracle. But is Yaz now, not 3 years ago, Yaz at 34 now, is he significantly better than Matos as a defender? Because I've never seen Matos play bad defense. He has a good arm. He gets to the ball. Maybe he's a slight bit under Yaz, but I think the bat is much better.
The bat plays way better.
No, but
the upside.
Yeah. Yaz has been a great defender, but again, some people live in the past. Like now,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? They stay there, and it drives me nuts. It's like, okay, Yaz has always been a great defender, but right now, April 10th, 2024, how much better is he than Matos as a defender in right field? Is it that significantly different?
Right.
I don't see it.
Right. Exactly.
That was the organization.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know what is the hesitation in playing some of these young guys. I just do not get it. I don't understand what it is. They seem so, I don't know. Maybe they see something we don't. Maybe there is something there. I just can't understand, because last year I thought was a perfect opportunity, and they gave Matos a long run. And I thought he represented himself in a way that he should have made the roster this year. I don't think they should have. And I talked about this before. They should have never came out and said, it's going to be Conforto, Lee, and Yaz in outfield before spring training even begins.
Who said that?
Who said that? Yeah, we know who said that. And that's, what do you do? All you're doing. Now tell me this. What does that do, first off, for Yaz, for the simple fact, now he doesn't feel no pressure? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes players need to feel that that, you know what, I got to step up my game. Secondly, what are you doing to the confidence of Luis Matos? Hey, you just told me I got to get stronger. I got stronger in the outfield. I had a great spring training. Granted, it's spring training, but look at the difference in spring training between Yaz and Matos. Huge difference. So I thought he had earned a spot on a roster, and I think that is a bunch of crap for them to sit there and give the nod to Yaz. Look, put Yaz on the bench. I'm fine with that. But because then you throw Matos, and if Matos doesn't take advantage, then you got Yaz on the bench to say, okay, Yaz, it's yours now.
You're sending a very bad message when
you are. I think for me, that's what I think.
No, it's a great observation, because you're making people complacent. You're telling Yaz, you're the starter no matter what you do. When you have the baby, you come back from the baby, you're 0 for 12, you're 0 for 16, you're 0 for 32. The job is yours. It's just not sports. Sports is about competition. You can't. One thing that made Jerry Rice so great is he always thought, damn, man, I was worried about some guy this is the greatest receiver of all time. And he always motivated himself to stay in shape, to stay, running his routes.
He didn't get comfortable.
He never got comfortable because he was always looking at his shoulder that somebody was going to take his job. And when you tell a guy like Yaz that has been struggling for 2 years, and Slater for that matter, you give him guaranteed contracts, then you say, Yaz, you're our right fielder. We're not platooning anymore. Those days are gone. He has no incentive to try to get better. And then what do you tell Matos? Hey, kid, we want you to get stronger in the offseason. Check. We want you to get better with the glove, get quicker and faster. Seemed like he was not doing that in spring training. We want you to come into camp, and perform in spring training. We want to see if you're in the ball. He did everything that the organization asked, and he still is not on the roster and still not the starter. So mentally with young guys, that's why I'm not worried if Matos is hitting 210, 220, 230, because I think he's frustrated. Like, what am I doing down here? I shouldn't be down here. I think the second he gets up and he's given a full vote of confidence by the organization, I think he will blossom. I think he will be a very, very good player. But as long as you keep knocking him down, like, what am I doing here in Sacramento?
What are you
like,
doing?
He's thinking about what he's doing after the game. So I don't worry about his batting average and things like that. Yes, he's a professional and needs to perform. I get it. But with young guys, it's so mental. And I think it was just a big mistake to just name the starting outfield without having them go to spring training and compete for it.
And here's another great point, too, that I just thought about. He's down in AAA. Who do you think he's talking to down in AAA? Elliot Ramos. And he sees, and I guarantee you Ramos is talking to him saying, hey, man, I'm doing this. I can't seem to catch a break. And now Matos is seeing the same thing kind of happening to him right now. Like, hey, I performed. I should be up there, and maybe, I don't know. Again, I'm not in his head. I don't talk to him. I have no inkling. I'm just guessing. Maybe that's why he's not performing in AAA right now. Maybe he's like, doesn't matter. I could be hitting 400 and hitting a bomb every other night and nothing's going to happen because Yaz has it locked down. Because because right now it looks like it has nothing to do about talent. It just has to do with Yaz got the job for whatever reason. I don't like that.
You know who Jungle Lee's, who quickly became Lee's best friend on the team in spring training? Luis Matos.
Oh, really?
They were like that. They hung out.
No kidding. Interesting. That's good.
They hung out a lot. So that's funny you say that. Now that Matos is down with Ramos, it's like, I like Ramos, but like, he's a bad influence. He's going to be talking Spanish to him and kind of tell him, hey, man, ¿qué estás haciendo, amigo, con las pelotas? Basically saying, hey, this is what they're doing to me. They're going to screw you too. I don't need that bad vibe around Matos, because if it gets in his head, he's going to think, damn.
Oh, that's bad.
And then these are the little things that we don't see. We all are just seeing, oh, Matos is hitting 226. He's hitting 216. It's the other things that we're talking about right now, that he's done everything. He's still not on the team. He didn't win a job from a guy that he knows damn well in his gut, I'm better than Yaz. And not by a little, I am way better. And I'm still not playing. And then you got Ramos in his ear. Hey, man, if they did it to me, they could do it to you. So you got all these things that a 22-year-old is having a hard time dealing with. And like I said, they need to get him up soon or they're going to lose him mentally. He's going to check out.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Senior. He's not hitting in AAA, and it could be maybe he's frustrated. Again, it's pure speculation. We're just saying maybe that's what it could be. I mean,
I'm not worried about him not getting in AAA. I know what he could do at the major league level.
Right. Hey, Mike,
Yaz isn't hitting at this level.
Right. He wasn't hitting
and he's got a job.
Yep.
Like Mike, I said, there's no all-star in right field that's keeping Matos from coming up.
No.
There's a 0.95 hitter that's keeping him up. That's wrong. That's completely wrong in every circle.
For those who don't know and weren't here in the beginning of the show, Dan has taken a night off. He had to put down one of his dogs, Faith. So he's just not feeling up to it. So me and Los are here taking the bull by the horns and just running with it today. So that's what's going on out there. Just so you guys know what's going on. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, he earned it. And that's all you ask for someone, right? You ask for someone earn your spot. And when it looks like you're maybe being passed over for whatever reason it may be, hopefully they're sitting down and talking to him and explaining to him so it doesn't creep in your mind, because that's easy to do as a player, right? If I'm out there doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm not getting what I should get, they better be communicating with him and not just letting him sit down there and fend for himself, so to speak, mentally. It could create more problems than anything else.
I want everybody in the chat to think about, at one time or another, because I know it's happened to me, at a job that you've been at, that you were better than somebody else in the same type of work or position, whether it's in management, middle management, whether it's a warehouse worker, a driver, I don't care. You're in a workforce and you're better than somebody. You outperform them. You're there. You don't call in sick, and you find out that person gets a raise and you don't. How are you thinking mentally? Because that's kind of the analogy I'm using with Matos.
Correct.
He has outperformed, and he is right now a better player than both Yaz and Slater, and he's still at Sacramento playing. How would you be performing knowing this? Because not only is it about that you're better, but it's starting your professional clock. Like, they're all in it as a professional to make money. The quicker he gets to the big leagues and starts performing at the big leagues, the quicker he can, get a contract where he's not making a minimum wage. So there's a money aspect of it too. So it's all these things that need to be taken into consideration. And, I said, if the Giants stick with this Yaz and Slater and Wade and Ahmed, that they're going to struggle. They're going to, they're going to get behind real quick. If they bring these young guys up, they'll start to win. I think that they're not going to. I think they're going to give all these guys, Eric, until probably the end of April, realistically. If they're still struggling by the third or fourth week of April, I think that's when you're going to see Matos up, unfortunately.
Right. I mean, if Yaz isn't doing anything at all, I mean, he had a good, and I felt bad. I mean, you want to see him succeed, but it sucks because now he gets 2 hits. That just extended his time another 2 months, for the roster. And it's like, come on, because
people getting excited at having a couple of hits and then going 7 straight games of not having any hits. Like, what are we doing here? Like, are your expectations that low right now?
Yep. Yeah, Wade has been doing good. I'll give you that, Michael. Wade has been doing good.
Wade is out of all the veterans, he's probably the one that I'm least frustrated with. I mean, he's solid. That's the best way I describe him. He's a solid baseball player.
Yep. I would agree with that. What do we got? Moves like Abdul Jabbar. I got a feeling who you are. I think I've seen you in the comments section. I think I know who you are. Anyways, he goes, the Giants lineup that won the most since 2021 was Schmidt at shortstop and Meckler in center field. We had a top wild card spot last year at the All-Star break. Yeah, and you know what what did the team do at the trade deadline? They got one guy. They did nothing to improve that team, to make that push. Nothing. So yeah, whatever.
If anything,
it is what it is.
If anything could get you to lose your job, it would be that. And he still kept it despite that.
I don't even get it.
I
don't get it either.
That's still
at least a bad taste in my mouth, man. I don't like that.
Hey, the Rays are a good team for having the budget that the Rays do year in and year out. One of the lowest 5 budgets in all of baseball. They are always competitive. They have a very good scouting department. They scout and draft well. That's why they continue to play at a high level despite having a very, very low budget.
Here, let's check. I think there's a way to do this, right? Schedule. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wednesday, Thursday. How about Friday? Let's see what we got here. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. It's going to be Keaton Wynn versus Tyler Alexander.
Oh, that's 13-11. A lot of runs.
Who's Tyler Alexander? Never even heard of him.
He's the cousin of Juan Adon. These no-name guys.
Oh, gotcha.
These no-name guys give the Giants problems.
I know. Oh, yeah. Right now he's got an ERA of 8.31.
Oh, Conforto will be in my fantasy lineup.
Ooh.
In that ballpark, ooh, hell yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be a tough day for fantasy. Hardly any teams are playing.
Yeah. What's the rest of the weekend? Is Snell pitching this weekend?
I didn't see it. Only went out to the last 2 days. I'm pretty maybe someone else can look and see what it's going to be for Saturday and Sunday.
So I haven't had a chance to talk on Snell since he made his debut. So I'll just say,
oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just kind of say that, it's one start obviously, but that is kind of Snell in a nutshell. The dude has dominant stuff. And when he just throws it in the strike zone, he's really, really hard to hit. He just sometimes does not trust his stuff. And again, it's one start. He had a lot of adrenaline, getting out there, not in a simulated game, but in a real game. So he will improve. But I really hope the Giants and his pitching coach just tell him maybe what he hasn't heard to get it through his head. Your stuff is really good. 5 innings and 9 strikeouts is great. You help us better if you go 7 innings and get 7 strikeouts. So pitch to contact. Trust your defense behind you. Your stuff is good enough that when you get 0-2, go after them. Don't be nibbling and then go to 2-2 because the first 2 batters, 3-2, 3-2, foul, foul, foul. He had like 13 pitches after 2 batters. I was like, damn, this is what this dude does, man. It's like,
you know what's fantastic? I shouldn't say fantastic, interesting. He couldn't locate the fastball, but his off-speed stuff, man, he was pinpointing that stuff.
His stuff is really filthy.
His stuff is nasty.
Yeah,
And it's a first start, like you said. And what I liked is he got better as the game progressed. He got into that 3rd inning and he just boom, 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 boom. It was just that first inning was just, and that's fine, whatever. The problem I had is the damn lineup didn't do a damn thing for him.
Didn't give him much support. So yeah, Snell's going to be fine. I just really want to see him. This kid Miller, don't know too much about him.
Holy crap! Did you watch that inning?
Damn.
Oh my God!
I'm a big as you can hear, if you've been on the show for a long time, all of us we're not into necessarily the whole computer, printout analytical stuff that Farhan reads out. We use these things when we watch games. These are called eyes. So when I see a guy that has special talent, I got LASIK vision a few years ago, so my eyes work pretty well. So it's just an eye test. You see a guy pitch and you've never seen him before, and you're like, his stuff's okay. And then you see this Miller kid, and you're like, wow.
What?
Or Landon Roop.
Man?
You see Landon Roop's curveball, and you're juiced for that. It's the eye test. It's just like, oh, this kid's got something. So,
but that Miller guy, did you see his off speed? He had a nasty hook, and then he's amping it. That last pitch that he struck out, who was it, Gallo, I think, for the game? 99 miles an hour on the inside. Woo!
Yeah.
The guy looked nasty. We'll see if he keeps it up. It's one outing.
Young arms.
Let's see what he does.
As I said last time I was on, how do you feel, Eric, about right-handed Tyler Rogers? I'm
kind of over that, man.
I kind of don't want him to be in any more late game, close games. I don't trust his stuff. It's like his gimmick has worn off. Like he's supposed to get out right-handers because he comes sidearm, and his slider is not breaking that much anymore. It's spinning, but it's right out over the plate at 82 miles an hour. It's a batting practice.
It looks like it doesn't have that break like it used to have. Maybe it's early. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just me. It just seems gimmicky with that whole side. Don't get me wrong. He has succeeded. I just don't care for it.
It worked for a little while, but man, how many big homers has he given up to the Dodgers late in games? Like right-handed hitters have taken him deep in a lot of late game situations. The problem with Rogers is he's so close with his twin brother that you get rid of him. How's that going to affect his brother, who's better, the left-handed Rogers? I don't know. I'm just not feeling. I'm feeling these young arms. I'm feeling Landon Roop. Again, the eye test is just passing. Again, I don't want. He doesn't have experience. Rogers has experience. Man, I don't care. I like stuff over experience when it comes to stuff like that. So. Tyler Rogers in a late game, a 3-2 game, holding a lead to get it to Doval. I think right now I trust Roop and his stuff more than I do Rogers. Rogers' stuff does not impress me. He sure as hell can't get out left-handed hitters. They're all over him. But he's supposed to get out right-handed hitters, and that's not happening either. So,
right.
Other than him, I like where the bullpen's at.
Yep. Richard Leggett said it's only April 10th. Yeah, get it. I get it. I understand. But I'll tell you what the issue is. I can't speak for all fans.
We're just observing what we're seeing through April 10th.
And look,
we're not making any long-term,
right.
Here. We're just saying now, Tyler Rogers does not look all that great.
And here's another thing is when you start seeing similar play that happened the last couple of years, it makes you just go, what is going on? With the hits and with runners in scoring position, not exactly, ideal. You get these base running gaffes which is kind of similar to the defensive woes last year, except this is base running. So you're costing outs, and it's just, yeah, it's early. I get it. But when you start seeing, we're a little bit shell shocked from last year, and you just don't want to see the same stuff. That's the issue I have.
Well, for anybody that's saying it's only April 10th when it comes to Yaz and Slater, this will
no. Yeah, I don't. That's where I draw the line there.
Yeah, this will be my response if you're talking about that. Check out their stats for the last 2 years. We're not talking about 10 or 11 days. We're talking about 2+ seasons. They have not been good players. So I hope anybody that says it's only April 10th, be specific about what you're asking about. If it's about Tyler Rogers, that's one thing. But Yaz, Slater, that's another thing. Here's another observation, Eric. When the Giants are getting guys on base, I don't know if this is a Pat Burrell thing. I don't know if this is a Giants philosophy. But damn it, if you play the game, you understand it. Sometimes the best pitch you're going to get is that first pitch.
First pitch.
And I am seeing a lot of first pitch fastballs down the middle looking at them. And then I'm seeing a foul ball 0-2. And then you're at the mercy of the pitcher. You're going to be chasing. You know, your batting average is going to be way better on 1-0, 2-1, 3-1 counts than 0-1. I am seeing a lot of taking that first fastball right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Could be the best pitch you're going to hit. So be ready, especially Conforto. He is a great fastball hitter. And maybe I'm overreacting because I got him on my fantasy team. But I've seen him come up with men in scoring position a few times. And that first fastball right down the middle, looks at it. I'm like, dude, man, be ready and just rake at that. So I don't know if that's a Pat Burrell thing. He's like installing that. If he is, Pat Burrell.
Were they doing that last year too, though? I think they were doing that last year. Maybe it was called strike threes down the middle. I think it was more.
Yeah, it was called strike threes. They were looking for one pitch and couldn't react to something else.
Here's a question, Johnny. You just perfect segue. Jorge Soler, does it look like he's guessing out there when he's swinging?
Yes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It looks like he's just guessing. He's just hacking away. No matter what it is, he's just hacking, guessing what the pitch may be rather than, trying to determine what may be coming. I don't know. Soler has kind of been a disappointment right now. Yeah, he's got 2 home runs, but
he's gonna.
Other than that,
he'll hit a couple bombs in Tampa. That's my.
Maybe he'll feel better when he's back in Miami. We'll see. Yeah, Soler strikes out a lot, but here's the problem. I mean, but the times that he's not striking out, he's also not really making that hard contact, popping it up a lot. He'll hit some fly balls to the outfield, or he'll strike out. It's not a whole lot of balls going over the fence, and that's his primary job, right? Hitting the balls over the fence.
Yeah, agreed. And once Soler gets to Miami and he gets his homemade Puerto Rican and Cuban food, watch him hit.
There you go.
He misses his food.
Yeah, true. Acuna doesn't even have a bomb. That's true. It's early. Absolutely.
There's a lot.
No doubt about it.
There's a lot of good hitters right now struggling. A lot.
They're all down. I got Julio Rodriguez on my team. Yeah, you know all about him from last year.
He got off to a horrible start for me last year, Eric. I came this close to trading him at the beginning of May. I would not have gotten back value for him. And I last second said, no, I'm going to keep him. And it worked out. Just some guys just wait a while before they get going.
Exactly. Hey, before we wrap it up here, guys, let's get into a little WrestleMania. I didn't get a chance to talk about it the last couple of days. The Saturday, I watched the last 2 matches. I watched the Intercontinental and that tag team match. I wasn't impressed. I don't know what it is. We kind of talked about this, Los. I don't know the style of wrestling out there. It just seems different than it was when we grew up.
Too bad Vince isn't on here to give us some his wrestling opinions.
No, it's okay. He's got his own show. I think I know he likes to talk.
I know he's talked about it as well, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just wrestling does not quite have. I mean, it's very difficult to compare it to.
It is.
The 80s. Those eras we just had iconic wrestlers, and these guys are doing their best. I haven't watched consistently wrestling in a while. But when the old characters come back, it seems like that's what the pay-per-views are all about now. It's not about the two new guys just having a wrestling match and may the best person win. There's always interference. It's all, okay, who are the old guys is going to come back? Is it going to be Stone Cold? Is it going to be The Rock? Is it going to be The Undertaker?
Right.
Be, Y2J. There's always some classic old school that as soon as the music hits, everybody goes crazy.
Yep.
And, people love to see the old guys come back.
But get the storyline that was going into that. Well, not going into it, but in an actual match, it was just very disjointed. It seemed weird. The match just didn't. I don't know what it is. It's the style of wrestling. Look, wrestling is because you got to think about this, guys. They're doing this. This is it's a weird comparison, but it's like Broadway because you're putting on a live act in front of thousands of people and millions watching on TV. And you're basically putting together a production live, but you're doing physical feats. I mean, that no one else does. So I know it's hard. I'm not going to sit there and say it's hard. It just seems that it was just, I don't know what it's. I was telling you earlier, when they hit those ropes, it seems like they're not hitting them with the amount of force as they used to, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the camera angles. I don't know. It just seemed a little bit weird. And the moves that they use, it's just, I don't know. And then the tag team, oh my God, the intros, because it was four. It was, what is it? The Rock and I can't even remember the other guy, the Universal Champion for the long, Roman Reigns. And then you had Cody and who was the other guy? I can't remember who the other guy was that he was with. Oh, you guys help me. Who is Rollins? Seth Rollins. That's what Seth. Is it Seth? I can't remember. But it was Rollins and Rhodes, and then The Rock and
what exactly is Cody Rhodes' finishing move? It's like a swinging.
I don't know, some spinning neck breaker looking thing. It looks cool. I'll give him that. It does look kind of cool.
Looks cool, but I wouldn't exactly have it in my top 10 for finishing moves of all time.
No, I don't get the gimmick of the intro and it was just literally, it seemed like the intro to all four of those wrestlers was longer than the match. And then the match just seemed, again, it's just, I just didn't like it. And then of course the last day you had all the big shots show up. You got The Rock interfering. You got John Cena. Well, John Cena interfering. Then The Rock is interfering. Wait, who was the guy before John Cena? There's someone else out there, right? I don't know who it was. There was another Samoan guy out there. That's John Cena came out and whatever his finishing move was. I can't remember what it was. He did it in the ring, and he took him outside and did it on the broadcasting
on the table.
The table. Yep. And then The Rock came in, and then Solo. I don't know who Solo is. I guess I don't even know who that is. And then The Rock comes in, does the rock bottom on Cena. And then the Taker comes in. Of course, the bell rings and everyone knows. I kind of wish they did the purple lights, though, instead of just the black. But then you would have been able to see him, so I kind of get it. And then, of course, he choke slams, and then that was it. I mean, it was a great moments. Don't get me wrong. It was great moments. And then, Cody wins the belt. But there was some excitement there, so I'll give him that. There was excitement there. But again, I just missed the old days.
Oh man, do I have a lot of memories of live wrestling events at the Cow Palace and at the Oakland Coliseum Arena, the San Jose Arena. Wrestling has always been a part of my life since I was probably 10, 11 years old, but it's not quite the same anymore like it used to be. They keep needing to bring back the older wrestlers for the entertainment purposes, like the new guys.
Because they can't hold it, right?
They're very good athletes and they have great moves, but like a big part of it is your skills on the mic. That's what made Stone Cold so great. That's what made The Rock so great is their ability to just entertain.
There were so many of them that were so great with the mic. I mean, I'm in the middle of watching. Did you ever see Roddy Piper's special on A&E? I'm watching it right now. Man, he had a tough life, man. Holy crap. But just guys like that, they had charisma. even if you know, quote unquote, played a quote unquote bad guy, because I don't know how many people, you know, what I'll just say the guys who played the villains, and then you guys, the guy who played the heroes. I mean, it's fantastic to watch that. It's just that the storylines are great. And then, you know, occasionally they would switch it up. You know, one guy who used to be a good guy for, you know, when Hogan turned bad, I mean, that was like, how much of an effect did that have on the wrestling world when Hogan came out part of the New World Order? I mean, that was
voted probably the biggest single game-changing move in wrestling history, because that's just something that nobody saw. A guy that's been a lifetime babyface to go heel.
I know.
It's very, if you watch the documentary about it, like a couple people were very hesitant about doing it, including Hogan. He wasn't sure if that was going to work. He built up his whole character around this whole prayers and your vitamins, and it's like, what am I going to do if people start booing me and things like that? And boy, did it work. Oh man, you will rarely see such an angry reaction. Watch that video and how much shit they threw in the ring.
Oh, they did.
That leg on of all people.
But Randy Savage. I know. Gosh. Yeah. Jim Everett, you're right. Bret Hart, not too good on a microphone, but boy, that guy could wrestle.
Hey, Fosse.
Boy, could he wrestle, man.
Real quick, Fosse, if you're still in the chat, I don't know if you're serious or if you're joking, but if you're serious, my number is at the top under Flex Funding.
Yeah, above my head. Above my head. Yep.
Above Eric's head. Let me see if I get it that way.
Right there.
There we go.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it takes me a few times, man. It throws me off. Yeah, shoot me a call, man. If you're serious, give me a call tomorrow. We'll talk.
Awesome. But yeah, I don't know if I don't want to. You were saying it's like, are we sounding like a bunch of old guys? But I don't think so. I mean, talent is talent. You know, entertainment is entertainment.
We talked about it, you know, a little backstage. We've said this before. Well, maybe I've been the one to say it, but predominantly it's just like, I don't like basketball as much as I do. I don't like baseball as much as I do. I don't like football as much as I do. I don't like wrestling as much as I do. And it's not me. It's just, it's different. You know, basketball is very 3-point reliant right now, as opposed to fast breaks and moving the ball.
Oh.
Football, they don't let you hit the offense at all. It's so predicated to the offense. Baseball, it's home run or strikeout, gone or triples, you know, and the little fundamentals that we've been talking about the game. Pitchers are trying to strike everybody out instead of pitching the contact. And wrestling guys are just like, they're a bunch of steroid, you know, they look great in the mirror and they can wrestle, but their skills on the mic, average at best. So, you know, entertainment's kind of come down. The prices go up, entertainment value.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Man, let's make wrestling great again, damn it.
Yes.
Let's do it. Make it great again. I forgot Otani. Looks like he's not going to face any federal charges.
What a shock.
Imagine that. Yeah.
They swept it under the rug. Yeah,
maybe he's turning state's evidence. Trust me. If they had something on him, though, honestly, I think they would have. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the face of baseball.
Make sure you promote MHC for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. Going to do an episode, Military History Chronicles tomorrow night. Maybe go on, or maybe I'm thinking around 8 o'clock. That sounds good. That'll be a good time.
Yep.
See what's going to happen out in the world. A lot of rumblings out there, what's going on across the world. So we'll get into that on MHC tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Since there's no baseball, it makes it a lot easier to try to just focus on that one show and instead of trying to do two. Yes, Will Be. Great song. Absolutely. That was fantastic. Guys, check it out. We made a little clip. It's like a little 2-minute video of just that song. So go take a look at it. It's pretty good. All created by AI.
AI is here. And I'm not talking Allen Iverson either.
No. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Here, let me get some.
Get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep. Exactly. It's anything. It's going to, like I said, it's continue to get bigger. What does that mean? Who knows, man? going to be a different world here very shortly.
Well, everybody, appreciate you for tuning in. If you love Dan and you love Faith and you love the channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go over and like and subscribe Eric's channel. Does a great job with MHC.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Much love to Dan and Faith. RIP. We got your back. And take your time, buddy.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, guys, for Dan, for Los, and for myself, Eric, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys again. I think it's going to be around, I think we said around 6:30ish, I think, on the post game on Friday. So you'll catch us here on NorCal Sports Network Friday afternoon or Friday evening, 6:30. Catch me on Military History Chronicles tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. All right, Los, have a good one, man.
All right, buddy. See you, everybody.
Woo!